Hey everyone, I'm Zach and this is Tide Pod's Growl's Big Brother Growl event. For those of you who don't watch TV, Big Brother is a reality show where a bunch of people spend time together in a big party house having fun, and every episode they have to vote to kick someone out until one person's left. And there's this abstract entity called Big Brother, which is a reference to George Orwell's 1984 apparently. But it's like an eye that watches over all the house guests. There's hidden cameras in every room of the house. It shows the contestants sleeping together. And then one contestant might get up to go to the bathroom and we'll see them on the toilet, but then suddenly the lights will turn blue and we'll hear, "This is Big Brother." And the guy says, "Hi Big Brother." And then Big Brother will say something like, "Kyle, your fellow housemate Paul is planning on proposing to his girlfriend Ashley tomorrow morning. You must find Paul's engagement ring and throw it away. And if Kyle completes this secret task, he'll be safe from being nominated for elimination for one round or something." I haven't actually watched Big Brother in many years, so I don't remember what the challenges were like. But the event master Tidepod said she's watched every season and is applying to be in it herself. So her growl version is probably as close to the real shows you can get. So at this point, all the contestants are introducing themselves, but I think I should give some extra background on who we're dealing with here. For those who don't know, in Growl, there are role players who like to play by strict player-made rules, where you're forced to stay in your guild tag and wear a specific uniform 24/7, and officers from the guilds host training events and activities which can sometimes be very repetitive, but if you're online you have to stop whatever you're doing and attend, or else you could get demoted or kicked out. It's called the Growl Military Community. It can be very fun and you can make many great friends in them. But most Growl players who aren't in the GMC hate the GMC because of the strict rules and toxicity of some players in them. And I myself hated the GMC as well for many years, mainly because I didn't have the freedom to make Growl videos while I was in them. But I would look out for like noob military guilds, which weren't as strict. I joined one guy's guild many years ago, and I was the second or third player to join, and he said, "We're going to make a great empire together." But the next day, someone convinced the guy to join a more well-established military guild. He had an old general look now, and he said, "I'm not keeping my old guild anymore. I'm a dignified lieutenant now." I said, "Oh, well, alright, sounds epic, bro." And he said to me, "So respect it." And I said, "What?" And he blocked me. But the point is, most players don't like the GMC, and this is Big Brother, where you survive by winning the challenges or by the other contestants liking you. If you win too many challenges, then they won't like you either. So you have to win their affections so they don't vote you out. And you can tell a lot about a Growl player just from what they wear. All the bottom players are most likely your typical social event guild Growlians. They've been unjustifiably banned several times. Maybe a young kid or an old kid was saying a bunch of offensive, discriminatory stuff, and one of these guys told that kid to shut the hell up, and then they got banned for a few weeks for using hate speech. There are two players here who are very obviously from military guilds, being Makaris Godbush and Niobe, and they are the most likely targets in this event. But Godbush is from the Suburban Empire and Niobe is from Aldara, and these two empires are at a constant war with one another, so they're also targeting each other. But there's also a third player here who's from one of those two empires, and he's me. I'm somewhat of a friend of Niobe's, because until very recently, I was in Aldara. I just left because I couldn't stay active. And fun fact, I'm an avid hater of Serovia. I've been so long before I joined Aldara. It's just what happens in war. So in Tide's event, I was against Godbush as well. Niobe just got back from killing 600 Serovians in one day. You might think I mean he killed like 20 of them 600 times, but no, he killed 600 of them. So you would think me and Niobe would be 2 against 1, but Godbush was a sly fox and he was a very cunning and very dangerous adversary. I was scared. But I also try to be funny and entertain the other contestants a bit, just to stay on their good side. The intro took way too long, so I'm just gonna speed through all the events. So our first minigame was Sumo. Sumo in Growl is a bit like Sumo in real life, but not really actually. Some guy said Hawk Tua, and I ran to kill him, but I immediately got hit into the water and was defeated. And eventually this kid Daniel, who declared he had more money than everyone, ended up winning the first round, and he became the head of house. He nominated 2 people for elimination, but Tide said as a bit of a twist, the first round would have 3 elimination nominees, so he nominated my friend as well. No! But it didn't go straight to voting. For every round we had a veto round, where the eviction nominees would fight for their lives against the head of house and 2 other randomly selected contestants. By pure luck, I was one of the randomly selected contestants. So if I won, I could keep the nominees as they were, or I could make one of them safe, so I got a chance to fight for Niobe's life. We played a minigame where we had to pick a box with flowers underneath it to win. And I got it first try, baby. Let's go. I was hoping all the rounds would go quick, because I'd work in a few hours. So Tide got the nominees to beg for their lives.
Fuck, you're very cool.
And Mist and Eve both made it very difficult for me. but I had to rescue Niobe. The future of Eldara depended on it. Dan tried to nominate me for eviction next, but I was safe. So I randomly nominated this other girl, Nesta. Everything was good, only my cover was blown since I saved Niobe. Godbush knew I was on his side, and he would not let that slide. Tide got the 3 eviction nominees to go outside again for a couple of minutes. Maybe they played rock paper scissors, but Miss came back safe. Niobe told me to vote for Nesta because Eve was secretly on our side, but then Eve got massacred by a vote of 9 to 3, so Eve was out. We all waited in the backyard for the next game, and we found a secret hint: fruit pie. Wait to guess which one it was. Also, Godbush was turning other contestants against Niobe. Things were really getting dire. Eventually Tide called us all back in for the second round, and it was chance. Another classic Growl minigame. That girl Nesta got eliminated first again, along with my friend Niobe, and then I got eliminated right after. Eventually, Jazz Stannis won, the guy who Godbush teamed up with. Friend is getting eliminated. Oh my god. He's not picking my friend. He's not picking me as well. Because he delays. I delay as well. So here we were. Either me or Niobe would be getting eliminated after the next video round. The round 2 video minigame was a fashion show, and Niobe and I lost straight away. It was starting to go on for a really long time, but all of a sudden, Tide announced that we had a self-eviction, and round 2 was over. Niobe sacrificed himself for me. Then before I knew it, it was just down to me and Godbush.
It's like we're the last 2 contestants.
I'm just kidding, but things weren't looking good for me.
I'm getting eliminated next. Fucking hell.
The whole situation, it felt a bit like Animal Farm. You know when Napoleon chases out Snowball? It was like that. Godbush had taken out Niobe. Serovia was winning. The event had gone on for a whole hour already, and there were still like 11 people left. Except I was all alone. Despair. But then, some random girl boss, Dreamer, PM'd me. I explained the whole predicament with Godbush, and she said, "Do you need allies?" I said, "Hell yes." She said, "Make that 2 girl bosses, biatch." I never really talked to Dreamer or Emily previously, but we followed each other on our Growl Instagram accounts, so we were already teamed up from the start, really. But Godbush would be going down.
God damn it.
The next minigame was Simon Says. I was eliminated because I was too slow on PC, and Emily was eliminated, but then Tide Pods brought her back in. And then she won. You know what that meant? Godbush was nominated for eviction. If he won the video round, he could easily save himself. But he would have to win against me, because I was one of the randomly selected participants again. It was fated to be. It was a treadmill game. And I won. Godbush was at my mercy, and I didn't give him any mercy. I'm starting to sound like I'm the villain here. Godbush probably didn't even know I was his enemy, but I rescued the other nominee, and I bet it hardly would have even mattered.
Since they were gone.
Godbush was eliminated. He disappeared in silence, like Thanos did in Avengers Endgame. At last, Niobe was avenged. And that was only round 3. We played a math game next, which resulted in a double eviction. And I was nominated again for eviction, along with Emily. But then I found that Emily had the fruit pie power. That was apple pie, by the way. And she used it to rescue us both. The next video game was that one minigame from Undertale, and this girl Cake instantly won, but she chose to save her friend instead of herself, and then we voted her out to rescue Dreamer. And then I tried to vote out Jazz Stannis, but the other guy went out instead. The minigame we played after that was Hide and Seek, and it was very long, since like 5 rounds of Tide hiding all over the map. And eventually I called it quits and had to leave for work, but not before Jazz nominated me for eviction. Everyone kept saying I delay, but we weren't even sparring, alright? A big deal. But that was it. Everyone hugged me and gave me a grand farewell, but I didn't get it on camera. The event went for 7 hours, and eventually that kid Dan won. But a few days later, I turned my back on my former guildmates and declared war on Eldara for the hell of it. I'll take down anyone with just a finger. It was a heart-wrenching betrayal, but I might have uploaded at the wrong time of day. And they're kind of busy fighting Serovia, but they didn't really care. So they ultimately disregarded my video and they took it down. But one person did reach out to me saying, "Hell yeah, let's fight!" And it was Adi, who was also an ex-Eldaran like me. And I beat him. But there was no end to my desperation, so I decided I would host my own Big Brother event. I went with my friend Zach for my first minigame, but he had no growlets. So so I got the event master herself, Tide Pods. There would be no video rounds in my event. For round 1 we had a drinking contest. Whoever drank the most was the big brother. It was on. Suddenly I was transported to a dream, with strangers in some place new. They called themselves the Nightmare Team, and Riff was there too. They had me surrounded on every side, so I said blast! I had nowhere to go, nowhere to hide, and then they told me to put on them. And we had a draw.